Alrighty, so here we are on the classwork for 5.11, day 2. I'll write that up here at the top. So this is the second page of the classwork. Similar to yesterday, we're finding the surface area. So I just want to go through a few little tips and tricks, especially this first one. They are hard to read. So on this first one, this is an 8 centimeters. So I wanted to fill that in so it'll match the answer key on the OneNote. So if you remember to what we did yesterday, we talked about first how we can fill in, the opposite sides. So like if this is 12 going across the bottom, this would be 12. So with this guy and this guy and this guy, they'd all be 12 centimeters. Okay. And then going across with some other ones, so this would be 8, this would be 8. This guy over here is a 6 centimeters, so this would be a 6, and a 6, and a 6. And this guy would also be a 6. So then the last thing we can go in and do is, like we talked about yesterday, are making those L shapes. So like here, we know this guy is an 8, so that means the one that matches it would also have to be an 8, which means the one across from it would have to be an 8, and the one that would make an L that would touch it would also have to be an 8. Okay, and I know some of you are like, well, that doesn't look like 8 because the one looks longer than the other. They're not drawn to scale. Okay, which means the one across has to be 8. Means the one that touches it would be an 8. So got one more L here. That would be an 8. And we already knew that other one was an 8. Okay. Now if we do a little bit of color coding, so we have 12 by 6s. So here's a shape number 1, as well as this guy, that's a shape number 1. So the area would be 12 times 6. And then we've got 12 times 8, so that can be shape number 2. There's 2 of those. Area would be 12 times 8. And then the last one are kind of those 2 smaller guys on the outside. Would be shape number 3. And the area of shape number 3 would be 6 times 8. Okay, so that should help you out with the first one. The second one I think I'm going to leave for you guys to try, but the last one we can do a little bit of filling in for you, but I won't do all of it. So we can fill in the opposing sides first. So this would be a 10 and a 10, 10 and a 10. This is a 6 down here, so this would be a 6, and then this guy's a 4, so we've got 4s. So now I'll fill in some L's for you to help you figure that out. Okay, so here's some L shapes. Hopefully help you figure that out. Okay. Now the other hint I'll give you is that this guy in the blue that I shaded here, so this blue rectangle, this would be the top of the shape. Okay. So imagine that's like the ceiling. Think about what that would be on top of directly to help you figure out what those last 2 measurements are. All right, so that's all I'll do for this video, but you can always send me an email if you have any other questions.